YouTube's new policy. Welcome to the streaming world, except we can't teach you a couple things anymore. So YouTube dropped some new streaming policies, some new gaming hacking policies. It's not just streaming, but I think with several content creators, there's a lot of how to find this stuff out there for free. And YouTube dropped YouTube dropped this policy where you no longer, and they stated it in a way where it was very smart the way they stated it. And they even put a blanket over it too. They're like, hey, let's put all these different levels and then blanket the whole thing on top of it. So so the thing with them is, for anybody out there that doesn't know what I'm talking about, if it has to do with a monetized product, so you're talking about like Disney Plus, for example, it's a great one. Netflix, another big one. You want to talk about games? I know Cyberpunk had one where there's a video going around that, hey, how to get Cyberpunk for free, video games. Now, not just the new games, but this also blankets any kind of old school games. So all the ROMs, music, anything with like Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, like all of that stuff. Music videos. It was like anything visual, anything audio, getting Windows for free, like all these ways of how you're supposed to pay certain things. They're now saying, okay, any of those type of videos, that's against our community policies, period.
So it's interesting. So I think it's like 2 weeks before they came out with these changes, I got a strike on my channel. And then the next week you got a strike on your channel. And then they came out with the changes. And, YouTube has always been in the business where they're protecting themselves. They're never going to hire a lawyer to defend themselves because the issue is always the content creator, right? And that's how they've always been. Oh, you got a strike? Then you got to take it up with them. It's not our fault. It's you. You did the content, not us, right? So they've always washed their hands, and they're very good at writing these blanket statements. And they're telling you blatantly, any of this stuff, because we don't want the issue, is the onus is on you, and we'll do our due diligence to keep your crap off our platform. And where else do you go? There's no other platform that has the views, the traffics, the monetization that YouTube does. I mean, we've talked about it as content creators all the time. Oh, where would we go? What would we do? And we can never really figure out a definitive, we'll go here or we'll do this. It's very difficult to move from YouTube as a platform and monetize yourself somewhere else.
Yeah, it's so, oh man. And that's the thing. Like, people were talking about CocoScope. Like, oh, we should go to CocoScope. And it's just like, people have tried going to CocoScope and it doesn't work. And then even then, if it comes down to the point where CocoScope starts getting advertisements and companies want to start paying for ads because they have a good traffic, they're going to have to follow the laws of the land. If the state says, hey, you know what, this is not cool, guess what? CocoScope's going to have to follow suit. Same thing with like I don't want to get too far into the whole Telegram thing, but Telegram just recently said, hey, they're going to be adding some monetization on just recently too. And, we've seen groups shut down from Telegram. So it doesn't, and people say, why don't you go to Telegram? You can't. Why don't you do this? You can't. Even private websites. Why can't you just make a private website? Those get shut down too. They'll go down to whoever the provider is and just shut it down.